Boston Bros is number one thing, not you're dead wrong. You can catch me doing misbehaving with my products on. It's real boxing talk every time we meet with Ned, the TBE, and Conspiracy G. We bring it to you raw, unbiased. You know the deal. You can even get a poor dealer here from Dollar Bill with my guys by my side. You know we going live. All we need you to do is please like and subscribe. Boxing Bros. Peace.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros, now that we got Yildirim out the way, is the official announcement for Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders. As you can see, this is Eddie Hearn's Instagram account, and he says, it's official. The unification is on. At Canelo v. at Saunders Billy Joe for the WBC, WBA, WBO, and Ring Magazine World Championships, May 8th, live on DAZN Boxing. Trill Dollar Bill, what's your thoughts on the official announcement and the official announcement being made 1 minute after Canelo took care of Yildirim?
I'm not shocked by the announcement. I predicted this a long time ago. Trill Nostradamus strikes again. This fight was in the making to happen and was destined to happen. What you dubbed this, Caden, the Battle of the Gingers. I'm excited. To me, this is going to be Billy Joe Saunders' biggest test to date. Now we're going to really see what this kid is made of. I praised Billy Joe Saunders for years. I like the way he boxed. I thought he was slick. I actually said he was, to me, I thought he was a little different. He reminded me of, like, not your typical UK fighter to me. He had a little different type of swag with him, and I like Billy Joe Saunders a lot. Canelo Alvarez, everybody knows how I feel about Canelo Alvarez. Nobody can stop Canelo Alvarez right now but Canelo Alvarez. That's how I feel, and I'm standing on it. How I feel about them announcing the fight right after, that's what you do. We knew who we was picking to win this fight. And that's what you do when you're a mega superstar like Canelo. You move it on. You get on. You know what I'm saying? You keep it moving. You're not going to sit there and smell the roses. You're going to keep it moving. Because that's what Canelo's trying to do. He's trying to move, and he's trying to have, 4 fights in 1 year? And I believe that he can accomplish that because he already got 2 down, and then he's fighting Billy Joe Saunders in May. And then he can put on another show in September, depending on the fight that, what happens in May, so that will complete the 4 fights in the 1 year. So I'm with it, shout out to Canelo.
All right, Slippery G.
Let me borrow this, Trill. I'm about to pull a G Nostradamus. Fight ain't happening. Your boy Billy Joe is gonna box his grandma to get himself out of that Canelo fight, man. Listen.
Say it ain't so, Billy Joe. Say it ain't so, Billy Joe.
Energy on full effect. Fight ain't gonna happen. He gonna find a way to mess up the bag, man. So, but I'll say this. Yeah, it was dope that they announced it right away. Like I would have did it. I'd have been like, hey, yo, Canelo, I know you training for this Yildirim fight, but yo, can you look at our flyer real quick? Do you approve? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we do what time it was, man. But it'll be dope if, let's just say, Billy Joe does show up. He takes out Billy Joe, then he takes out Caleb Plant right after that. I think that's all the belts, right?
That's all the belts, yeah.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what Canelo should do. I think that's what he's planning on doing, like just racking up all those belts. So that'd be a good lineup. I don't see Billy Joe or Caleb Plant beating them. I see both of them dudes. They're tricky. They're boxers. So Canelo is going to have some difficulty, but the power and his reaction time, his counters are just too much for both gentlemen. So if Billy Joe shows up, I will be shocked. You know what I mean? But I don't see Billy Joe winning. So, but definitely I'm going to be tuning in. So that's going to be a good fight.
All right, TBE.
Listen, I'm going to pull a TBE Stradamus. Billy Joe will be
small back to Canelo.
Billy Joe will find himself arrested the night of the fight. That's what I predicted. This fight is not going to happen, man. I promise you, April comes around, we'll be hearing rumors of juicing, some type of sabotage that will happen to this man for this fight not to happen, because Billy Joe does not want to walk down the gloves to Canelo. He sees what Canelo's been doing, and what has Billy Joe been doing? Nothing. For the past year, he's been suspended. Why would I come out of suspension to get beat up? Why?
Murray, bro.
Huh?
You just beat Murray.
Beat Murray?
Yeah.
Murray's not Canelo. So I'm gonna say this: if Billy Joe, if you have the heart, I'm rooting for you, but I'm not rooting against Canelo. You get me? And that's all I have to say. But I hope this fight happens. That's all I say. I pray to whoever is above that this fight happens.
So check it out. I'm not going to sit here and do my man Billy Joe Saunders greasy like that. I believe he wants this fight. And if he ever wants to make a bag,
yes,
this is like his last chance. He can't mess this up. If he messes this up, then no one's ever going to put him. Because you got to look at it like this. The promotional team, they book a venue. So, for example, when Billy Joe Saunders was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade, they booked the venue. They went and they did the press conference in Faneuil Hall, I remember. And we bought the tickets and we looking forward to seeing that fight. So when Billy Joe Saunders pulls out the fight and then they have to bring in a replacement opponent, an underwhelming replacement opponent, at that, it hurts the promotional team. It hurts your opponent. So now Canelo, the guy who can pick and choose who he wants to fight, picks you. They make the flyer. They just announced it at prime time because they announced it immediately after his fight on the DAZN pay-per-view, by the way, which I remember I was telling someone DAZN could put on their own pay-per-view if they wanted, and that person laughed at me and said, oh, that doesn't make any sense, Complex. Well, they just did that, DAZN pay-per-view, right, which wasn't really that difficult. DAZN could do their own pay-per-view, like I said. So on the DAZN pay-per-view fight, immediately after they announced Billy Joe Saunders, if he doesn't make it to the ring this time, he is effed. There's no bigger promotion, right? There's no bigger star, although some people may argue Anthony Joshua, but you really, there's only two people you could even mention in the same stratosphere at this moment. And Canelo's been doing it longer. Canelo's been the face longer. So Canelo, what more do you want? You pull out of this promotion, you're done. So I think he's going to make it to the ring. He has no choice but to make it to the ring. If he doesn't make it to the ring, he's like it's like Plexico Burris. You know what I'm saying? He just Plexicoed himself. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you who don't know, Plexico Burris, the former wide receiver for the New York Giants, who shot himself, right? Brought a gun, I think, into the club, shot himself, and got arrested.
I was
for shooting himself. You know what I'm saying?
I see G's face. G's like, that's what Billy Joe gonna do.
G's
still mad. He's still mad at what he did at TD
Bank. Bag up. You know what I mean?
G's still mad about how Billy Joe played us at TD Bank.
He never forgave him for that.
He never forgave him.
Yo, we were tight. I felt so bad disrespecting that poor man in that ring that Boo Boo was fighting because Billy Joe didn't show up. Right? So, hey man,
I feel you.
That dude got body bagged.
Gotta get over that.
Billy Joe's quote or mantra at home right now is "Money ain't everything."
Oh man,
it's the only thing. That's right. He's right. It's the only thing. But getting back to it, Billy Joe Saunders presents a style that is difficult, or I should say was difficult, because I do see progression in Canelo Alvarez in the ring. But when you look at his toughest fights, it's obviously the fight he lost to Floyd Mayweather. I don't think anybody is Floyd Mayweather. especially out of these active fighters. But he did have difficulty with Austin Trout, Izandi Laura. Cotto was able to find him a few times. So Billy Joe Saunders does represent that type of skill set that could be difficult for him. So there are people who believe in Billy Joe. Billy Joe, the problem with Billy Joe is he rises or falls with the level of his competition. So if he underwhelms when he's in there with an opponent that nobody really knows, and then he raises his game when he's in there with someone who's a high caliber opponent, or particularly when he's an underdog. So it will be interesting to see which Billy Joe shows up, but I believe he will show up. I believe the fight will happen, and I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, Canelo fish and chips that night, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Easy.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.